Everybody get up, it's time to slam now.
Come on and slam, and welcome to the jam. Come on and slam, if you wanna
jam. Reflections of a formerly homeless poet. When you live in a men's homeless shelter, you have to deal with a lot of crap, literally. Crap on the floor, crap in the shower, crap every damn where, crap in the air because someone has crap in their pants. You have to deal with crap on the side of the toilet, crap behind the toilet. On the rare occasion when you see crap actually in the toilet, you're like, holy crap. When you live in a men's homeless shelter, entering the bathroom is always a crapshoot because the urinal bandit may have struck again. You see, if number 2 is involved, this bandit eschews using the stall. Instead, he deposits his load of crap into the wall-mounted standing-only urinal. It's disturbing how his disrespectful ass carries out this dirty deed, which makes the maintenance person who has to clean it up feel crappy. And it makes me unhappy picturing the balls of this bandit pulling this crap, pants halfway down, bent halfway over, backing his backside into the urinal as if he were parallel parking, focusing on positioning and concentrating on trajectory before commencing propulsion. But you know what the crappiest part of it all is? Inside the confines of the crap-to-fun urinal, not a single solitary square of used toilet tissue. Nasty! I would tell myself, if I ever catch the urinal bandit in the act, I'm gonna knock the crap out of him. Poets are not known for their bedside manner. At the Richmond University Medical Center, the roaming registration clerk asked me, "Do you have health insurance?" I told her I have whatever's left over from the Republicans gutting Obamacare. Let's just say I have dead carcass insurance. The clerk notifies the medical staff of this new information, and I'm red flagged as someone who has bad insurance. Nurse Jameson moves me to a curtain because when you have bad insurance, you don't get a room, you get a curtain. When you have bad insurance, you don't get quality care, you get your insurance doesn't cover that. No, you can't have an extra tuna fish sandwich. Your insurance doesn't cover that. Yes, that lunch bag only comes with 1 cookie. Wait, you want 2 artificially flavored cookies? Your insurance doesn't cover that. I wonder if it covers patient confidentiality. In the next curtain, I hear Ernesto, who also has bad insurance, talking to the doctor. "It hurts, doc." "Where does it hurt, Mr. Ernesto?" "It hurts at the bottom of my asshole." Mental note, after they discharge me, Google bottom of asshole and find out where exactly that anatomical area is geographically located. The doctor tells Mr. Ernesto he'll be right back. An hour later, still waiting, Mr. Ernesto is sprawled out on the floor, writhing in pain as he cries out, "Why won't they help me?" From my curtain, I muster up my best bedside manner and candidly reply, "Mr. Ernesto, you have bad insurance. That means they'll treat the top, the sides, maybe even as far as the middle. But bad insurance treatment won't go the extra mile all the way to the bottom of your asshole." Love is the thing with feathers, plucked clean and grilled over an open flame. Love is a text message to your ex, which reads, "You stole my Xbox, but not my hope." Love is a thief who returns your identity because your credit score is shit. Love is like having constipated diarrhea. Like knowing someone is full of it, but you still can't get them out your system. Love is cheesy, like baked macaroni and cheese made with 5 different cheeses. Love is geometric, messy triangle, emotional trapezoid, concentric objects of affection. Love is the point where 2 infinite parallel lines intersect. Love is building a future together on top of a cemetery filled with things buried in the past. Love is breakups followed by makeups, or vice versa, or versa vice. Love is common sense, cutting off the video camera and leaving the interview room so heartbreak can have 5 minutes alone with you. Love is being at odds and thinking of ways to get even, but settling on forgiveness. Love is falling in and out of favor. Love is buying a soul jug of milk found in the orange juice section. Love is unrequited longing. It's carrying a torch for someone until hell freezes over. Love is show me your scars and I'll show you mine. Love is Humpty Dumpty's partner telling all the king's reconstructive surgery men, if you did it for the $6 million man, you can do it for him. Love is timing, knowing exactly how long a hard-boiled egg takes. Love is a free trial period, canceled one day too late. Love is acceptance. Love is Charles Dickens' duality, the best and the worst at the same time. Love is, if we're in a horror film, I will make sure you live to be in the sequel, which means I will tell you, stay here, and I'll go downstairs in the dark to investigate why the dog is barking incessantly. And if an unfriendly ghost or evil clown dressed as a demonic nun kills me, know that I love you. I love you 3,000 multiplied by Andre 3,000, which means the power level of my love is over 9,000. I love you from A to Dragon Ball Z, from Allah to Zeus, from Amiri Baraka to Zora Neale Hurston. If our eyes are watching a God that is love, you can see why it hurts so much. Giving up your only begotten heart, leaving it open to attack by letting down your guard. In matters of romance, remember the referee's instructions. Protect yourself at all times when entering the hole of a rabbit or love. Because the deeper one goes in, the more you feel like a rookie proctologist, probing, searching, and seeking the answer to a rhetorical question. What is love? Love is a friend. Love is a friend who had sex with your mom. Love is a motherfucker.
Maybe if my mother's trauma hadn't raised me, I wouldn't squirm at kindness, cringe at compliments, second guess intentions, or self sabotage connections just to avoid the pain of being left behind. Maybe I'd believe in love and embrace it and not see it as something that I had to earn. So, what would loving me look like as an adult had I not been raised by my mother's trauma? I imagine it feels good and doesn't leave me feeling suspicious. I imagine it's being able to trust without constantly testing people. I imagine I could be vulnerable without feeling stupid. I imagine I could be silly and not feel embarrassed. I imagine I wouldn't have to apologize just for existing or crying or needing to take up space. I imagine loving me would look like letting someone in without the fear they'll see all my flaws and run. I imagine it's actually answering the phone. I imagine it's birthdays I celebrate without saying it's just another day. I imagine it's being touched without me pulling away or waiting for the switch to flip. I imagine it's looking in the mirror and not cringing at the sight of my mother looking back at me. I imagine I'm not wondering why I'm never enough. I imagine it's not keeping myself locked away from the world. I imagine it's knowing the difference between solitude and abandonment. Loving me without my mother's trauma would look like me trusting myself, knowing who I am. I imagine I would have been a totally different version of who I am now, confident, important, special, beautiful, whole. I imagine it would look like freedom. But even though my mother's trauma raised me and I never got the love and acceptance I needed from her, I'm able to find that love that I crave so much in the way my son hugs me tightly and says, I love you every time he leaves the room. in my daughter's laughter and the way she says you're the best mom in the world, in the eyes of those who came into my life and stayed to remind me that I am enough and worthy of love. They all show me that love doesn't come with a price. They have no clue how their kindness and encouragement is healing my inner child. I can't go back and change who raised me, but I can choose who helps raise me now. And these days, it's been strangers turned family. They're the ones who have shown up, who continue to pour into me, who remind me what love really looks like. And that's the kind of love my inner child has always been craving and dreaming of. Unconditional love.
My mother just died, and I don't give a fuck. Someone says before they are about to break out into a fight on the bus, and you could understand their point of concern because I don't give a fuck either. But this isn't my fight. But I can empathize with their demeanor. Everything lately is an almost fight on a public bus, ready to rip out some motherfucker's hair from their head and sell it back to them through crypto. My mother's dead, and I'm alive, and I should be thankful for what she's given. But all I can think of is that Metro card ding, like the starting bell ring, and the gloves come off, and I'm ready to gnaw on an eardrum, or 12 apostles guessing what is next for our bearded hero as he tries to navigate this earth without his mommy, without his life net, support field, his always. But this isn't my fight. Just my projection, not even a beacon or a bat signal, just a lazy attempt at explaining my toxicity tuned to 11. I am 47, but can't seem to act my age, so I act my cage.
She came to me last night in a green-like state, growling, demon-esque voice, sending a message from beyond the grave. While in this weakened condition, in these earthly spaces between sleep and awake, a stronger voice heard from spiritual places, permeated through dimensions and reached my ear. Oddly, I was not put off by it. Had I been fully conscious and not being aroused from this visionless green, I would have died of fear. They know how to come near to try to torment these bags of bones while the red still flows. It's more fun for them that way, to watch us struggle in our minds. This is the story of the green monster who spewed the hate until she died. In the afterlight, her plight was even more pathetic, as she was appointed the devil's advocate with the hippy-dippy blue eyes that she still refused to see death, as in life, refused to focus on the important things. She never realized her mission in life was over. Because of her misguided hell raising, while she lived, she was doomed to wander in places between here and there. Every now and then, if you listen carefully, you can hear her nasty greenacular being spoken by familiar faces with odd-sounding voices.
Pray that you didn't miss the bus. There's an energy drink dancing down your throat, and all you can contemplate is creators on the moon. Last night you dreamt that you were a carnival act, being blasted 50 feet into the air from a cannon in a cute girl's mouth. She simply said, "I love you." Like I Love You was never guilty of being a flight risk, could ever safely land a cracked heart and crooked smile. Beware of first class tickets to tumbling boulders. Beware of all boarding passes and weight limits and unchecked personal baggage, carried off by ghosts and remixed into Bower ballads. Beware of hard rock bands and or rocked locked up, hard cracked, rocked out guards with their groupies and their backstage passes and the fallen and their fallen and their hard-hitting headstones that just keep falling for headaches and encores with mudslides voted most likely not to be mistaken and or taken lightly in fist fights with lightning that ain't never seen anything of my like, even ain't never scared anything that I'm like. I'm no longer fighting gods for their innocence, no longer fighting for my slipping grips on my innocence. Now I'm fighting over unholy warlords, bench warrants, and every guilty ongoing, going in and on and off on every one of my convictions and all of these guilty sentences, as if all I grim reaped wasn't all I ever sowed. As if I wasn't always harvested from fruitful grapes of wrath that wasn't always all ready to come in with wasn't already bruised skin, a headliner headlining a headstone right now. My father's name is still starring in an unmarked grave, so now no longer am I that son of a gun CP Mays. Now I'm that son of a bitch that keeps calling God out by his goddamn government name, pulling up to every collection plate dent. Been off a bottle of Clark Kent smelling like leave me the fuck alone. It's so hard to call on lowercase gods from anywhere when all of our phone booths are gone. What does a mortal man say to a lowercase god? I'm sorry. You're an attention whore. I really am.
I got a joke for you. You ready? Your mom is so fat. No, see, this is where you say, how fat is she? Come on, you know it. Let me see if I can get this right, because I want to be in on this joke too. Your mom is so fat when she goes to the circus, she has to wear the tent. Now that one feels personal, since I've been under my fair share of big tops. We've all seen it, the plus-size silhouette swaddled in fabric. As if we use the whole roll, it will disguise that we have rolls. These designs feel old, but that's all that is sold. Only 1 or 2 stores with mannequins in my mold, and they're churning out the same shitty cold shoulders. This fat ass doesn't want fast fashion, but I can't afford bespoke. Even thrifting for me is a joke, since most of our clothes just aren't made to last. But let me try another. Your mom is so fat, she spells food desert as dessert. See, it's funny because it's a desert, a place without access to food. Not just in quantity, but also quality, with almost 1 in 5 families in Canada dealing with food insecurity. The same year, almost 1 in 3 identified with obesity. That's a joke too, right? How can less access to food cause us to outgrow our box? Because it's not a joke, it's a paradox. When the cheapest food is a bunch of rot, ultra-processed full of sugar, vegetables costing more and more, and who's got time to cook her? When women without a degree are 2.2 times more likely to be fat like me, there's a link between size and Western poverty. We need less preaching, more policy. But I guess it's easier to just make fun of me. Your mom is so fat she went to the doctors with a broken wrist and they told her to walk it off. See, it's funny because it's true. Us fatties are less likely to be screened for some cancers. And what does that lead to? The answer? Less fatties. We're more likely to die of them. 40% of treatment providers admitted to negative attitudes about people in higher weight bodies. They see us as non-compliant patients, spend less time with us overall, show us less patience, tend to attribute every complaint to our weight, no matter how faint the correlation. Pain in your ovaries? Just diet. Lump in your breast? Try a diet. Uncontrollable sneezing? A diet. And bless you. And lest I forget, I should also add that if your mom is so fat, it could be because she worked 50-hour weeks, came home, cooked, and cleaned and dressed you. Never saw the inside of a gym because she still had time to find sleep too. And if those breasts sag, it's because she fed you, know that you ate. And if the bags under her eyes are heavy, it's because she carried you in her sleepless arms. And if you think she's the size of a house, it's because she was your first home. Show some respect. Now I've got one more in me, and I think this one's the best yet. Your mom is so fat she can't even kill herself right. See, studies show an increased prevalence in high-weight young adults with suicide risk. Seems something is making us sad. I wonder what it could be. But the gag is we're less likely to be effective, since another one says you're actually less likely to die of suicide if you also have obesity. And if we're successful, it costs extra to cremate us. Even in death, we are charged an indignity fee. So I guess it's a good thing your mom is so fat when she jumped off the roof, she bounced. Are we laughing yet?
Move, bitch. Get out the way. Get out the way, bitch. Get out the way. I've been tripping over my own feet. Blocking blessings I begged for, built walls out of what ifs and called it protection. But the truth is, I've been the delay, the detour, the damn traffic jam in my own lane. So now, I'm going to move and get out the way. Step aside and let my purpose pass through. No more gatekeeping my greatness for myself. See, I thought I missed it, that my time came and dipped while I was busy doubting. But no, time don't run out on those who run toward it. I'm sprinting now. There's no looking back, no second guessing, no more watered down versions of myself. Every not yet was just fear I fed into, but I see through it now, and fear ain't got no place in this new chapter. I'm done waiting for the stars to align when I'm the fucking constellation. I'm done thinking small, done doing comfortable. I ain't asking for space, I'm taking it. Stretching out all 6'4.5" of me. I'm going to settle into the truth that I was born to be. Seen, heard, and unapologetically me. So yeah, today, I move out of the way of myself and into the greatness that's been waiting this whole fucking time.
I remember when the world was simple, when we were just two kids laughing, running through the streets that felt like they belonged to us. We were inseparable, tied together by more than blood. You were my brother in every way that mattered. Back then, I never doubted that we'd walk through life side by side, but somewhere along the way, the road cracked beneath you and you slipped into places I couldn't follow. First, the boys' home. Then distance, silence, a gap between us where there used to be nothing but bonds that couldn't be broken. Then the group home, the streets, the trouble, the bars locked you away one layer at a time. And every time you left, I thought maybe this time you'd come back whole. Maybe this time you'd remember who you were, who we were. 12 years behind bars, a lifetime, yet somehow, just a blink. Because when they let you out, I thought I'd see the boy I knew. Maybe weathered, maybe bruised by time, but still there. But the street swallowed you again, and the weight of addiction dragged you down, still stealing pieces of you one by one. And look at you now. I see a man who is barely holding himself together. You are frail, where you were once strong, paranoid, where you were once steady. You are lost in a storm you can't seem to escape, and I am here standing outside of it, reaching for you, begging for you to take my hand. You don't hear me. You don't see me. Every word I throw at this brick wall you've built comes back at me empty. I talk, I plead, I remind you of the boy you were, but you look through me. Eyes darting, mind clouded with things I can't understand, but still I stand here and I reach for you. Because you're my family. Because I can't sit here and watch you fade away as the streets take you piece by piece until there is nothing left but a name, an echo of a boy I once knew, because I love you. So hear me. If there is any part of you left that remembers our childhood, our bond, the way we swore we would always have each other's back, let it be enough. Let it be the thing that pulls you up before it's too late. I can't force you to climb out. I can't break down the walls if you don't let me, but I'll be here, always waiting for the moment you decide to step through. Don't let this be the ending I fear the most, a phone call followed by tears and a feeling that I could have done more. Because I love you. I don't just love this shell of a man I hardly recognize, but the man I know is locked deep within you, the man you don't believe exists, but I know does. I never thought I would have to beg you to save yourself, but here we are. Will you make the choice I'm begging you to make? Or will you confirm my worst fears? That the cousin I knew no longer resides in the shadows you so casually embrace. That my love isn't enough to reach you. Hear me. I love you.
I keep thinking about you in that box, slowly consuming yourself inward, becoming else. Absence will make the heart heal sooner, as time is a decaying harbinger with death stick sickles slicing days into seconds it takes to forget the you in photographs. I keep thinking about you in that box and how, as a village, we are good at blowing ourselves up and others, but not knowing where the pieces go. How taking is the only way we know how to give. I've gathered what pieces I've could. They don't fit, but I forced them to. I would imagine this is some form of new aged healing. I keep thinking about you in that box, how we keep sharing statuses instead of space, how we crumble from programmed dust, endorphin spit, how the cutting off from technology feels like cutting or self-harm, like you are digging a fissure through an appendage that you think has been there holding you. All these statuses are in boxes too. I keep checking as some sort of connection to elicit some sort of feeling, some sort of remembrance. Frequency helps the healing dial heart. I keep thinking about you in that box and 100,000 poets for change and the titles we give ourselves when we want to appear self-righteous. But are we really what changes the tide anymore? Are we now becoming the house band, exhausted idealists with no follow through? How many poets does it take to change a light bulb? We don't. We're too busy wondering how much time we have on the mic. How many poets does it take to change? We don't. We're too busy wondering why you didn't publish us in your zine. How many poets does it take? It takes all of them, every last one of us. I keep thinking about you in that box, and as a poet, I am past my prime, but not my produce. The bulb is fresh, but the poems, they come out all wrong. I think my beard has outgrown me. One of my many poet tools, it has lost its luster, its creativity, its orange. My beard is in a transitional phase of my poetry career, a mid-beard crisis. The grays are the months you have been away. Absence makes the beard grow sage. How many light bulbs does it take to change Thomas? How many Thomases does it take to change? How much of Thomas does it take? And it takes, and it takes, and it takes even the boxes of these pages. I keep thinking about you in that box, Mom, and I wonder, am I in this box too? Giving and taking, giving and taking, or am I just sifting through the repair? Maybe that's it. I'm just sifting through the repair, stitching the sternum, embracing the inward, becoming else. Maybe I am the box, and you will always be here. I keep feeling you in my chest, in every last photograph.
I've been here before. The state of disunion is not in communion. Mass confusion, master of illusion, not trading my heart to be part of your war on humans. I do not play by your rules. In the trenches, not digging my own grave, my ancestors say to get your affairs in order. Your lies have drained the trust and best of me. I hit the highway daily, promoting myself when no one else would. Your love is like a pointy white hood. I try not to Thelma or Louise, please. You're not worth my life, which is why I live in my car, my only peace. Your lying face is more problems that I can't bear to see. The tipping point to my sanity. I want you to confess that your last best act was the material for God's suicide note. The cashier at the Chick-fil-A was high as fuck. They reminded me of you when they couldn't get my order right. I got in my car tonight and just drove again under the full moon's light. I had to slap myself awake many times. Now my insides reject all food because life has become too hard to swallow. Would it be weird to wear a sign that says free hugs? Because we're all not promised tomorrow.
My diction's dangling has been dangling inside epiphanies dangerously. I'm life where closet skeletons hang their birthday suits up at. Proud you would be, fashioned from within this. My walk-in closet is a club where my skeletons, my friends' skeletons, party like rock stars on standby. Death frowning at my fashionably late. Always, I plan on being caught off guard in an off-the-clearance rack smile that looks a lot like sincerely, it's okay, stranger. There's no one living alive, successfully living in the lies that they sell themselves. So daddy, don't wait for me, pops, just promise me, father, when you bump into Jesus, ask him where you can find his favorite wine cellar, and I promise you I'll be the well-tailored kid in the three-piece suited hangover, rocking his vintage cracked halo, still barely being held together with duct tape and the last few authentic smiles I seen right before they closed the casket on me. Tell my wife to bury me with whiskey, some writing prompts, one of her favorite wind chimes, and a wine corkscrew. Our wine cellar, see you later there, pops. Cause truth be told, these palms stay patting down these pockets like they're trying to calm down my poverty. Find my chapstick for my lip service cracks. Smiles every time karma swung at me. Flinch never. I feel alive when I'm locked up, locked eye to eye, locked within. Every one of my regrets is karma, and she's dancing around living rooms left in my lungs, wearing nothing but her mother's last heartbeat tattooed on her forearm in a t-shirt with no panties on. Desperately she knows I need to know what God's honest truth looks like when there's nothing human left to hide behind. There are monsters begging miracles to get God naked on my tongue. Early on, in any, every, anywhere bar, any and every time I ever chose the right cup to pour all of my heart into, it always came on the rocks. Dear Creator, these butterflies in my stomach desperately need to know what all of our God's seasoned myths taste like. This lava on my tongue, it tastes like leftover dirty holy water, left over boiling over on stove overnight last night. Somebody tell my sins to sit heaven the hell down and let me and my metaphors cook. I am hungry, and winter's always coming, my friend. And I'm so not so sorry my sins are so stop sign fine. And my depression is not my lowercase god, and that's a lie. My lowercase gods wants me to ask you to be honest with yours. Don't force me to slide Lucifer into semi. Reload my magazine full of Messiah and manna until everything not hallelujahing. I'm a Marine. Is it your job? Is that your lowercase god? What if heaven is just a really well-designed escape room? I'm life, where claws and skeletons hang their birthday suits up at. Is Jesus your insecurities brand name that you can't hold on to? I love you, I'm life, where claws and skeletons hang their birthday. Every book in the Bible was written by men, so someone tells the book of Genesis to stop goddamn gaslighting Eve. I'm life, where claws and skeletons hang their birthday suits. Birth, I am from the very same stuff that birthed the star. And this is not up for debate. My diction's dangling has been dangling inside epiphanies dangerously. I'm life, where claws and skeletons hang their birthday suits up at. And proud you would be if you were also fashioned from within this.
I'm not gay enough. But I'm not straight either. I'm both, and I'm neither, a classic bisexual divisor. When you say that you're bi, people tend to think about sexual lines, claim you just want attention from guys, or maybe that you can't make up your damn mind. So when I sleep with men, I'm written off as straight, right out of the gate, accused of using a queer label as bait. But when I sleep with women, they're sometimes wary that they're my lesbian cherry. No point falling for me, 'cause it's a man I'll someday marry. And when I complain, I'm written off as whiny, as if bi erasure is tiny, since other battles are more spiny. But picking a label feels silly and reductive, as if it's something constructive or maybe instructive. That you decide what you are and then that's how you live. Find the box that seems to fit and just dive right in. As if who you are in your marrow could ever be a matter of definition so narrow. So now I just say that I'm queer. Queer meaning strange or odd, a word once wielded like a weapon, as if the worst thing a person could be is distinct. As if simply refusing to lie about who you are is an act of violence, as if any of it is a choice. Perhaps the reason I always struggled with a label is that I can't pick my identity like a dish off a menu. A lifetime of the same meal sounds like the worst kind of curse. If I have to pick a food metaphor, then call me a buffet. A different dish every day served a million different ways. When I say that I am queer, it means more than just sex. More than basic attraction, even. It's an acknowledgement that, yes, I am strange, maybe even odd, if your ideal of normal is a husband, 2 kids, and a dog. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, but that was never me. And my poor family was never really sure how to approach relativity. What is a life if not a series of milestones? Graduation, and then marriage, and then kids, and retirement, each marked with its own ritual and celebration and fire. What were they to do with me? No degree, no wedding, dear God, no baby. But we've come a long way. So they thought it's okay if she doesn't like guys in that way, that 2 women can marry and still have normal lives. But I do like guys. That isn't the issue. It's a matter of the DNA in all of my tissues that doesn't want that life. I don't think I ever have. So where does that leave me? The queer community. The beautiful thing about this queer community is at its heart, it's about plurality. That my queer is not yours or hers or theirs, that my attraction is not defined or limited by arbitrary gender norms, that my life does not need to be tracked by tradition. To be queer is simply to acknowledge that you love. Maybe not romantically or heteronormatively, or even traditionally. Maybe it's just that you love yourself enough to shake off the labels assigned to you at birth, the ones that never fit right. Maybe you have to try a few on or make one up from scratch. But if any community does, this community has your back. So I'm odd and I'm strange and I'm queer. That is very clear. But I'm also happy and content. And that is even more dear. So if you are not sure what box to check on life's forms, if you don't resonate with any of the standard norms, don't worry, you're not alone. You're welcome to join us or not. It's your call. Because we're here and we're queer and we're not going away at all.
As an intuitive child with a feel for abstract thinking, I knew there was something questionable about a blonde and blue-eyed Jesus of Nazareth crucified for my sins. In a similar way, statues of liberty, gallantry, and consensus seem meaningless to me if ethnic minorities do not feel the presence of justice, equality, and collective freedom that they are meant to convey. My soul yearned for the liberation I sought within, and I looked to identify solutions without the media platforms, social tech, and well-placed dialogues not useful to my quest. Now I see those living in emotional battlefields where wounds bleed daily, even as Gaia Mata weeps and remembers. I see a collective spirit where hearts cry with one voice rooted in the suffering of injustice. A people whose wealth screams as gold bars sitting in vaults alien to them, while they use foreign paper tainted with chains and the agony of betrayals from visible and invisible ghosts stealing their resources by deception. Out of these dark shadows, a remarkable leader emerges, and like the sparkling moon enveloping the night, soon enough there is a powerful luster, awakening a global intensity which demands attention. Eyes become open from those who are being systematically bled, leaving a trail of poverty, discrimination, and deception. Consequently, there's now a miracle that runs like silent music, singing of the harvest of famine, free education, and hospital care. Voices that implement actions, delivering on better roads and free housing, security, nationalization of resources, and an unconquerable love for and from its people. Voices addressing the many scars of enslavement and a championing of Black unity and pride. A land where the sun shines down in holiness, proud of a people sacrificing their lives for sovereignty, striving to let go of elephants that are still a burden. One where voices rise from a Gaia Mata of soil, colored by a plethora of resources, a people who have learned through history and personal experience to avoid the folly of selling their precious dignity and self-esteem. Voices raised in the innate rhythms, struggles, and visionary dreams of a better tomorrow, molded out of the toil, cries, and the exquisite beauty of their souls. Their voices merge in loyalty and devotion, speaking to the hearts and soul of men, working for progress and away from the control of those who bled their hearts and dignity. Leadership like that of 100 lions, having the wisdom to reclaim their assets, request the exit of invaders, which, like an enforced marriage, sooner or later was bound to go irretrievably wrong. A leadership where debts are paid in full and vision implemented in the just interest of a sovereign nation. I see a people rewarded for their resilience and steadfastness, a trust which turns into the miracle of actions of advanced fighting techniques that takes them on the deliberate instability of fighting techniques that take on the deliberate instability of its borders. Tierra Madre smiles with the blessings of abundance, of the hopes and plenitude of dreams, of a people aroused and sprinting quickly to a bounteous sovereign land.
I don't flinch anymore. I just pause mid-prayer like I'm buffering through blessings I'm scared to believe in. PTSD don't wear a uniform. It pretends to stay dormant until a scent, a song, a sentence with too much memory in it unravels me. I've learned how to look alive while dying in increments, and they're invisible. How to mask masses, folding pain like laundry, creasing it neatly so no one questions the chaos. PTSD ain't just pain. It's pieces tucked silently deep. It's prayers trapped somewhere dark. It's pride that still defends the parts of me I never unpacked. I got trigger fingers trained on memory still moving wrong, itching to unload every time my past falls out safety of silence. They say trauma makes you tough. Nah, it makes you tired. Teaches you to clap back at compliments and second guess peace like it's plotting something. You ever sat in a room full of love and still felt like a hostage? That's post trust soul distortion, where affection feels foreign and safety has side effects. Sometimes I dream of joy like it's a person I ghosted, like it texts you up, and I ain't had courage to answer back. I'm stitched to survival due to swallowing so many breakdowns. I burp up apologies for feelings I never asked to feel. I laugh loud so no one hears the static. I show up so no one sees the shrinking. I survive because I was never taught how to rest. PTSD doesn't need a stage to perform. It gets a standing ovation moment I smile while bleeding internally. The applause is silent but constant. Some days I forget this ain't my fault. Just because I've lived through it didn't mean I deserve the disaster that followed. Hell, surviving didn't mean I signed up for the scars I was left with. You ever try to rebuild on shaky ground? Ever tell your hands to hold joy while they trembled as if they still remember how grief fit better? PTSD ain't just in past, it's present. It's pain that studied your demeanor, waits for your guard to drop while dressing it up as deja vu just to remind you you're not done healing. And I hate I can spot an exit faster than I can accept love. That I know the sound of sorry without hearing it. How my boundaries sometimes feel like barricades and comfort carries claws if you hold it too long. So, no, I don't owe survival a thank you. I didn't choose to bleed beautifully. I just learned how to press through souls damaged like it was written in my bloodline. You ever wear resilience so long it starts to feel ragged? Like strength got teeth and it's been chewing on your softness for years? I ain't healed, but I'm healing. I still flinch at shadows, but walk towards light anyway. I'm still learning peace don't mean pretending. And rest isn't a reward I gotta earn. If you're looking for a happy ending, look close. It's in the fact that I'm still here with ink on my tongue and breath filling my chest. I may be cracked, but this voice still carries. And if PTSD thought it buried me, it forgot I'm rooted and I grow through anything, pressing towards sovereignty and destiny. And I'm here to stay.
Loved you all of my life. How could you do this to me? Have me crying out for you as if in infancy, struggling, begging to continue intimacy with you, racking my brain into no avail, no comprehension of why you put me through hell, angry, lost, not able to tell why I lack your attention when asked. I fail to explain why you don't spend quality time with me. You see, I get a portion, a small part of you, Doctors recommend that I spend a third of my day with you, at the very least. Tried so very hard not to blame you for leaving me for so long. I was looking deep into myself since they say I must have done some wrong in some way. So many times you led me astray, thinking you were here to stay, but you elude me day by day because of your unwillingness to spend the time necessary. He has replaced you every night, like the cliched married man with the secretary to the dismay of the wife. But in this, I'd rather have you continuing to be part of my life. But now you left me with no other choice but to hang out with insomnia, who has a strong voice. Voice so influential, he prohibits my potential to achieve the goals that are essential for me. Sometimes I'm late for work. Sometimes my brain delays and this dismays the plans that I've made with my tongue, with my thoughts, with my efforts in every part of my existence, still persistently pursuing you with persistence, still teasing me with your essence, which is why I haven't given up. Still optimistic that we will be reunited. That hope, that wish keeps me excited. Not sure if I failed to mention, because of your lack of attention, that insomnia became my side piece, even though that was never my intention. But your neglect of me has been a point of contention, having me in a place of detention. Even though he has been more loyal than you, I am still craving you, feeling that he doesn't deserve my betrayal for you. He's been hanging with me well, but I'm so desperate to have you in my life. Can't you tell? I have been seeking other avenues trying to get you back, imbibing spirits in hopes of drawing you back in the sack. You two playing gentle rain because of your absence to mask my pain, in hopes you would return and sustain me. Adding the hum of the fan, thinking that would help. But damn, that doesn't always work, you see. Using meds or melatonin, and that was short lived. So desperate, there wasn't anything that I wouldn't give. Viewing things I have no business viewing. Resorting to self soothing just to be in your presence or draw you back to me. Baby, how I miss you. My peace, my comfort, my dear lover, my sleep.
Let me unwind your mind and take you out of the box that you put yourself in. Once awakened, you will move as such, and your mind will never sleep again. Honestly, I had to lose self in order to gain God. On this road to recovery, I had to learn to let God cover me, put myself aside, because he doesn't need my help when helping me. Truth is, my outside didn't match my inside. Things weren't adding. I guess you can say that math wasn't mathing. But these are signs that he covered me, wrapped his arms around me, and let his love smother me. See, sometimes the rain felt like it couldn't stop. It was constant. Drip, drip, drop, drip, drip, drop, drip, drip, drop. Death had knocked on my door plenty times. I used to ask God why he didn't pull my time card. Clocking into work began to be too hard. Just showing up alone began to feel like my body was on earth, but my soul was gone. See, my mind was running in circles. I just wanted to become whole. Truth is, my flaws were starting to show on the outside now. I was as happy as a smile I pretended to wear, and honestly, there wasn't much I can do. When the things I kept hitting began to be a playground for the devil to send his demons to play around, jumping and climbing from bad memory to bad memory. Never seen good, keeping painful thoughts in my head to keep my mind from doing good, so that my heart never had time to heal. In each generation that comes from me, the same history will repeat the same history. But I told God that that generational curse end with me, and I will no longer know defeat or feel incomplete. Now, I know y'all heard that saying, you reap what you sow. Well, honestly, I thought it didn't apply to me because I treated people how I wanted to be treated, but never got much of that in return. So I thought what I got was mine that I earned. But one day I got tired and I had to go to God, for without him, I could not last. And he's the only one to erase the pain from my past. See, we all must learn this valuable lesson. Everything you go through is to show you, but to teach others the lesson. So if you have a testimony, must say something. Never know who you're helping. Why not be God's secret weapon? Tells what he's doing, even if you wouldn't call it a blessing. Him breathing breath in your body is enough to be the first lesson. Don't let him take it in order for you to get the message. So love for no reason, because we really do need each other. Learn to call just to say hello, or to stop by and watch a TV show. Oh yes, we know life be lifing, but there's someone out there suffering in silence. So take a few moments out of your day to tell someone you love them. You never know, it could be the first time they heard it, or it could be the last. We really don't know each other's life journeys, paths. You could be here today or gone before night passed. So don't ever stop fighting for life, because after recovery was over and everyone disappeared, God taught me that he was always near and how to love myself with every flaw that he allowed. So who don't love me? Never cross my mind anymore, because if you do or don't, I still love you more, because on this road to the recovery, I discovered me.
I'll be honest. I don't like the idea of myself trying to convince anyone that I'm the ideal match for them. But may the powers that be grant me this one instance, please. You see, I'm like pineapple on pizza in a way I'm not conventionally sought after. I'm an acquired taste, conceptually bizarre at first, but actually pretty damn fine. I'm the epitome of don't judge a book by its cover, but nobody's daring enough to crack me open to get to know my pages. And I don't want just anyone to break into my spine. I want your attention to be mine. I want to open your minds to the idea that I'm the perfect meshing of intelligence, insanity, intimacy, and safety. That I am the ultra rare find, that I am one of one, that I am the one. Acknowledge me how my heart acknowledges you as its tribal chief of wholesome mischief. Allow my actions the opportunity to echo my authenticity. Allow my abilities the opportunity to prove my dedication. Allow me to be your Swiss Army knife love, sharp, multifaceted, and full of wit. Allow me the opportunity to shapeshift for you as you see fit. If you're unable to see what level of potential we carry, allow me to be your paradigm shift into happiness. When you are alienated in anxiety and need of a friendly face or voice, baby. Allow me to be your grounding mechanism, smoothing out the schisms, shutting out the static in your mind. When you're feeling sad or mad and it's been a while since you've seen your smile, allow me to be the GPS that pinpoints exactly where it can be found and where it can be safe and sound. When life is pouring on the heat and you're in need of a helping hand, I'll be there in your corner, waiting and aching for the hot tag, willing to clean house and take whatever hits that come with it. Allow me to be your sword and shield. Allow me to be your tag team partner in life. When the world is treating you dead body cold, may my words warm your soul from the inside, as hugs and kisses warm you from the outside. Allow me to be your spiritual snuggie. Allow me to be the drummer in your heart, going into a Dyer's Eve frenzy with double bass pedals bumping and pumping, all while grooving and moving you in ways you didn't see coming. Allow me to surprise you with a little something. Watch me create a sweet heartbeat that you can kick it to, boo. My love language is boundless for you. I'm ready to express that fully and true. Life has many doors. Allow me to be that master key to unlock all the doors that tickle your fancy. That last thing I want to do is waste your time. So allow me to be time well spent.
After Eric Garner, after any Black person begs to live while being choked to death, you hear it from cold-hearted mouths to Black ears. If you are talking, if you can say, I can't breathe, you're breathing. Please. You don't have to be a medical doctor to know such a callous comment is as full of bull as shit can get. I only need to be a person who's had his breathing cut off against his will, and I am. The bully wanted a volunteer on whom he could practice Sergeant Slaughter's finishing move, the Cobra Clutch. And he pulled me from the audience. Even though I never raised my hand, against my will, the bully wrestled me into a sleeper submission hold, and he squeezed. As I begged for air, he squeezed harder. As I started seeing stars, he squeezed until I don't know how long my blackout lasted. Maybe as long as Tony Braxton's song Breathe Again. I just know when my power came back on, I dashed down the hallway like a madman yelling, I can't breathe, I can't breathe, I can't. In that moment of yelling, like I lost my mind, I was breathing. But in my mind, the trauma of suffocation stuck me back in time, still remembering how I cried aloud for air, begging my bully for a breather, telling him politely, repeatedly, please, 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 I can't. Terri, wait, can I be your Burger King? Ever since you moved out of your mama's Waffle House, you've been living in that Pizza Hut. Why not move into my White Castle, where we could spend hassle-free days out back in the Olive Garden, playing checkers and dominoes. In the glow of love, we'll be basking. Robins flying through the high sea orange sky. Frankie Beverly and Maze, the golden corral time of day. As the sun sets, I reflect TGIF. Thank God I found a beauty who looks more appealing than Holly Bowberry biscuits on a scale of 1 to 710. You are 711. You are the reason I hop for joy. You be my Happy Meal free toy. You be my ride or die Chick-fil-A. You be my sonic seduction. Just hearing your voice gives me hearties. I love it when you call me Big Papa John's. Word to Jimmy. When you walk by, you pop eyes out of sockets. It doesn't take a Johnny Rocket scientist to tell. That's a whole lot of jelly. Because jam don't shake, shack like that. And this is not meant to be vulgar. You see, the church's influence still guides me, so I'll spell it out in anagram form. KFCU. Only me. Or I'll be furious like the five guys who rhyme with Grandmaster Flash. With Barry Allen speed, let's jump on the subway, get off at a random wing stop, go visit a farmer's Boston market, or sit at a Hard Rock Cafe table for two, Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks coffee while having an intellectually stimulating conversation. And I will never stare at your Hooters. We are a perfect pair, like salt and chipotle pepper, or I.C. Davis and Ruby Tuesdays D. Let's come together in and outside the Jack in the Box, make Krispy Kreme rise to the top. Instead of calling me Dennis, I want you crying out, Dennis. I share my thoughts without charging a penny. If you ask me, will our love be endless like the shrimp fest at Red Lobster? I'll answer rhetorically. RB's, the makers of honey. You are the Applebee's of my eye. Numero uno is what you are to me on any combo meal menu. You are my number one and only. You are the only one for whom my Taco Bell tolls. You are the reason why a woman at Wendy's acted frosty toward me. When she offered me some Cinnabon, I took none. I'm done living life in the fast food lane. I swear on my Auntie Anne's life. It'll be a cold stone day in hell before I ever do you wrong. I'll give you more TLC than songs by T-Boz, Left Eye, and Chili's Baby Back, Baby Back, Baby Back ribs. I know in the past you've been stabbed in the back like Brutus did to Julius Little Caesars. Feel free to panda express your trauma to me. Talk about every Panera bread bun that your oven was unable to carry to term. I will be a helpmate to your healing. I will be there for you, wearing a headset and a smile, handing you a paper bag full of fast food for thought, because your eyes are the drive-through window to my soul. I am going to write fire. I'm going to go out like a fucking meteor. A foundational African-American euphemism walks into a bar and sits its Sarah Bartman booty on a stool reserved for junk in the trunk. A black body, junk, found in a black Glad trash bag, in a torched, abandoned car trunk, in a TSA regulation suitcase, in a stainless steel walk-in freezer. I want to write about violence, but my thoughts, plagued by epidemics, no floral arrangement can cover up the stench of a cover-up, the unpunished vile deeds that lead to, in lieu of flowers, please go fund funeral expenses. Send all Cash App donations to the family of the deceased, murdered, assassinated. I can't get death off my mind. My mind got a mind of its own. It pays me no mind. It continually writes poems that refuse to be civil. Accounts of George Stinney, George Floyd, George Bush the sequel, by George. The Jeffersons moved on up, but anger still resides, haunting deluxe apartments in the sky built on burial grounds. Atrocity is as American as George Washington cherry tree pie. I want to write a non-threatening piece, a non-angry Black person piece, a non-violent piece, a piece with non-existent justice offends. It causes bad blood. When I don't receive an invite to contribute to a collection of 113 poets responding to the songs of Taylor Swift, no matter the type of pen, quill, fountain, glitter gel. I raise hell and then catch it. I question. If I fumble a bag, is it because CTE got a hold of me? Why do I write Jadakiss and Anthony Hamilton when I want to write Tim McGraw? I look at me in the mirror and chide. I knew you were good trouble. I knew you were more purple haze than lavender. I knew you were gone to November instead of back to December. I knew you were mean, the one who tortured poets with self-doubt. During a dark night of the soul, look up in the sky, a midnight star to wish upon. A poet craving the Midas touch weeps, gently clicking a lead pipe 3 times. There's no place like palatable. There's no place like palatable. There's no place like palatable. I am not for every palate. I am messier than Bob Ross's palate. I can't stand me. I will be the death of me. I won't let me cross over to mainstream. I'm stuck at the River Styx bank, available balance in purgatory. My poem tells painful truth, yet I'm the one who hurts. My poem is a God-given gift, and what I do with it is my gift to God. Lord knows I try to make my poem civil, but my poem writes itself. My poem writes in the image of Old Testament vengeance, not New Testament turn the cheek, turn the page on civility, because I am not even on the same book as my poem. It will not offer up a page to the wrong gaze. It will not bring a Cain offering to the altar, to the blank Word document, to the open call for submission. My poem comes not as Uncle Ruckus, but as bring the motherfucking ruckus. I try not to go scorched earth, but a blinking cursor hypnotizes me, and a red, hulking rage begins to bust out onto the page, and I am transformed into a ghost rider, blazing fire like a fucking meteor.